You're in the Temple of the Rants, where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one's for Neon Mobile Suit Evan Gundam, who initially had wanted me to rant about Jinro the Wolf Brigade, but I was like, I talked about it in this video years back. Just search my name in Jinro if you want to see that. It's at the end of a Secret Santa video. I haven't watched it since then, so those are my most recent thoughts, if you, dear viewer, happen to be curious. But he said he wanted me to rant about Mamoru Oshii and his impact on the anime industry and distinct surreal style of directing. Man, Mamoru Oshii, back when I was younger, it went way over my head. I used to think that his shit was boring and pretentious and shitty. I'd seen Ghost in the Shell and thought it was okay. I think I had tried to watch Pat Labor 2 and just gotten bored. And there must have been something I had actually finished that I didn't like. I had seen Angel's Egg, thought it was okay. But I just didn't really get it, you know? I just thought his shit was so fucking slow and trying so hard to be smart. And I remember the first time I watched the Skycrawlers, I was like, alright, whatever. Then I rewatched it, and I was like, huh. This is better than I thought. This is more interesting than I realized. Then I watched it a third time, and I was like, this might be one of my favorite anime movies. And I wrote a big old blog post about it on my old blog. But, yeah, I think that his movies are the type that, obviously, you really got to think about it. You really got to watch it more than once a lot of the time to fully appreciate what he's doing. He's a director who's just not interested in being that upfront about what the fuck's going on. And it's not that he doesn't usually drop some kind of hint. I mean, oftentimes what little dialogue there is in the movie is there to basically spell out the point of what all this other iconography is sort of hinting towards. But, you know, it's more like a keystone than a full understanding. It's really when you watch it multiple times that you start to drink in all those details and see how they all complement the theme and what it's trying to convey. There's an amazing video that Best Guy Ever had done about Angel's Egg at the start of the first Mia Mathova that made me understand that movie and think it was pretty fucking cool. It definitely, you know, opened my eyes to the thematic underpinnings of the movie. So I think most of what he's done has that quality. I think all of it is stuff that, you know, it has some kind of deeper theme. It has some kind of thing that's opaque that you could discover by spending enough time with it. The question is it worth it? I mean, for a lot of people, they might appreciate all those themes and still think it's a boring movie. And I think that's totally fair. I think some of his movies are just, like, painfully slow at times. But, you know, if you do like the themes and you get into the scene construction, I think that everything he's done has at least some scenes that are extremely memorable, that are engaging to watch, that stick in your mind. And, you know, some of the imagery, it's not so much that because I don't really think that just having themes makes something good. I think it's how well it represents that theme. If you can make a movie that every time I reference that theme, I think of that movie, then that is how I know you've done a great job. And I think Mamoru Oshii has done some of that. I think he's made things that, you know, the reason that, like, say, the existentialist themes in Ghost in the Shell stand out to people so much is that when they go on thinking about those themes, that's what comes into their head. And so, you know, like, that's kind of how I am with Psycho-Pass. Like, regardless of how good or bad Psycho-Pass may be, the fact that it does such a good job talking about, you know, like, a totalitarian, authoritarian government, it's just such a perfect example that I always end up referring back to it. So, you know, Oshii has that property. But it's been a long time since I've watched an Oshii, probably because it's been a long time since he's made something. So, you know, maybe at some point I'll do a whole fucking Oshii marathon series. Like, I always get it in my head with people like him that so much has been said about their movies that what could I possibly add to the conversation. But then I always forget that, like, if that's so true, why haven't I read anything that says exactly what I would say? Or have a go-to example of, you know, something that represents what I would think about it. I'd love to cover the Skycrawlers sometime, especially. But yeah, I think he's pretty dank. He also created the OVA. Just saying, he was the first. He was the first guy to make OVA, I believe, with Dalos. If I'm not mistaken, he might have even done something before that. I think last time I brought this up, somebody corrected me, so I don't fucking know. But he's pretty important, pretty sick dude. Shout out to Studio Dean for putting him on the fucking map. And yeah, Jinro's great. He didn't direct it, he wrote it, but it's a great script and a great movie that I highly recommend.